Today is December 21st. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today at the Big Book, we're going to continue our journey through Chapter 11, A Vision for You. We're on page 155. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Tradition 10. We'll read 178. And we're on the 24 hours a day in daily reflection. So with that, I hope you all are doing well this morning, my friends. We've been given a brand new set, once again, of 24 hours. Another day to live a sober life. What a beautiful opportunity we have today. So with that, let's get to the good stuff. Out of the Big Book, we're on Chapter 11, last chapter in the book, A Vision for You. We're on page 155. And if you remember from yesterday's reading, we've been talking about Bill's story here and how through possibly some kind of spiritual or divine intervention, he decides for the first time not to take a drink in the bar, but instead call the local clergy and work with somebody else. So we're on 155, let's get to it. His call to the clergyman led him presently to a certain resident of the town, who, though formerly able and respected, was then nearing the nadir of alcoholic despair. It was the usual situation. Home in jeopardy, wife ill, children distracted, bills in arrears, and standing damaged. He had a desperate desire to stop, but saw no way out, for he had earnestly tried many avenues of escape. Painfully aware of being somehow abnormal, the man did not fully realize what it meant to be alcoholic. When our friend related his experience, the man agreed that no amount of willpower he might muster could stop his drinking for long. A spiritual experience, he conceded, was absolutely necessary, but the price seemed high upon the basis suggested. He told how he lived in constant worry about those who might find out about his alcoholism. He had, of course, the familiar alcoholic obsession that few knew of his drinking. Why, he argued, should he lose the remainder of his business, only to bring still more suffering to his family by foolishly admitting his plight to people from whom he made his livelihood? He would do anything, he said, but that. Being intrigued, however, he invited our friend to his home. Sometime later, and just as he thought he was getting control of his liquor situation, he went on a roaring bender. For him, this was the spree that ended all sprees. He saw that he had to face his problems squarely, that God might give him mastery. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Tradition 10. Alcoholics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues, hence the AA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. Page 178. The Washingtonian Society, a movement among alcoholics which started in Baltimore a century ago, almost discovered the answer to alcoholism. At first, the society was composed entirely of alcoholics trying to help one another. The early members foresaw that they should dedicate themselves to the sole aim. In many respects, the Washingtonians were akin to AA of the day. Their membership passed the 100,000 mark. Had they been left to themselves, and had they stuck to their one goal, they might have found the rest of the answer. But this didn't happen. Instead, the Washingtonians permitted politicians and reformers, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic, to use the society for their own purposes. Abolition of slavery, for example, was a stormy political issue then. Soon, Washingtonian speakers violently and publicly took sides on the question. Maybe the society could have survived the abolition controversy, but it didn't have a chance from the moment it determined to reform America's drinking habits. When the Washingtonians became temperance crusaders, within a very few years, they had completely lost their effectiveness in helping alcoholics. "24 hours a day, December 21st. AA thought for the day. Have I ceased being inwardly defeated? At war with myself? Have I given myself freely to AA and to my higher power? Have I gotten over being sick inside? Am I still wandering mentally, or am I on the beam? I can face anything if I am sure that I'm on the way. When I'm sure, I should bet my life on AA. I've learned how the program works. Now will I follow it with all that I have, with all that I can give, with all my might, with all my life? Am I going to let AA principles guide the rest of my life? Meditation for the day. In this time of quiet meditation, follow the pressure of the Lord's leading. In all decisions to be made today, yield to the gentle pressure of your conscience. Stay or go as the pressure indicates. Take the events of today as part of God's planning and ordering. He may lead you to a right decision. Wait quietly until you have an inner urge, a leading, a feeling that a thing is right, a pressure on your will by the Spirit of God. Prayer for the day. I pray that today I may try to follow the inner pressure of God's leading. I pray that I may try to follow my conscience and do what seems right today. Daily Reflection, December 21st. Listen, share, and pray. When working with a man and his family, you should take care not to participate in their quarrels. You may spoil your chance of being helpful if you do. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 100. When trying to help a fellow alcoholic, I've given in to an impulse to give advice, and perhaps that's inevitable. But allowing others the right to be wrong reaps its own benefits. The best I can do, and it sounds easier than it is to put into practice, is to listen, share personal experience, and pray for others. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading, and some great stuff as always. I love that last one. Sometimes I'm bad to give unsolicited advice. Hopefully I've gotten better at that over time. Because I realize, sometimes we just have to learn from experience. And speaking of experience, when we're working with somebody else, I think it's best, for me at least, to just talk about my own experience. What worked for me. I sure don't want to ever come across preachy, because I know how I felt when people would do that to me. But anyways, my friends, that's all we have time for today. I hope you all have a great one. Please know, as always, I don't speak on behalf of AA, NA, Al-Anon, or any other sect. I'm just a friend in this lifeboat of recovery, and it is an honor to be here today. Hard to believe that it's almost over. Man, just a few short days left, but it's been a wonderful ride, and I'm grateful you're here. And if we're given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.